What is going on, buddy? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome along to episode number, we'll call it 2.5 here, of F1 The Prodigy Season 4, because this is still the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix weekend here. We're here now for the main Grand Prix itself. We had the sprint race last Friday. It was a very enjoyable episode, and make sure you go check that one out before you see this one. In terms of getting this one out, I've been a bit late with it, unfortunately, because due to the fact that I lost my hard drive last week. I only got it back a few days ago, so I try my best to get this video out as quick as I can. So it had to be pushed back to Saturday, unfortunately, but it's here now, so we're very excited to get this one underway. Of course, we had a bit of a stinker at the end of the sprint. Things sort of fell apart in terms of strategy, so we're starting P11 for the race. So Malachi's got some work to do here. Verstappen managed to win the sprint in the closing meters over George Russell, and he'll be hoping to go 2 for 2 in both the Emilia-Romagna race and extend his lead in the Drivers' Championship. So have to do all we can here from 11th place on the grid, just outside of the points-paying places, to actually prevent him from doing so. Before we start the video, you guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. As always, trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and make sure to share the video around with anyone who you think might enjoy it. Make sure to leave a comment telling me what I can improve on, what you like about this, just so I know what you guys want to see. So the car's now lined up on the back row of the grid, so let's get into this one. Let's get the Grand Prix underway. We're going to jump straight into it here. 5 red lights are out, foot to the floor, and we are underway for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Verstappen and Russell lead the way down towards turn number 1, the Tamburello chicane. Wilson's had a decent getaway. He's managed to stay in front of Pierre Gasly's got Ricciardo as well. So we're already up into the top 10, going down into that first corner. Look to the inside of Teo Boschet and Guan Yu Zhou around the outside of both Alfa Romeos out of turn 2. We've got the place done. Verstappen leads, Russell second, our teammate Sainz in third. We're going to be our next target, Alexander Albon, in the Alpine. It was a very good race in the first round in Australia, did quite well in the sprint as well. And beating on our next point of order is make our way up through the next left-hand closer there, making our way up back up the hill. Verstappen is still showing the way by about 4 tenths to Russell. We're going to try to look around and move it up as quickly as we can. It's a very hectic opening lap. We've made a couple places already. We've made up 3 places off this start, and that has moved down to Alfa Ferrari just for the first time. Albon there, our next target, going through the right hand and now back up the hill. Bit of a poor exit there. Goes on using it, closing a little bit. Verstappen now has about half a second advantage. He definitely hasn't pulled away as much as he did in Australia. That's a sign that the rest of the team have closed in, ourselves included. We're still chasing Albon here. The things have definitely settled down here over the course of this opening lap to make our way down towards the last 2 corners on the circuit to complete the first lap of this Grand Prix. So Verstappen, Russell, our teammate Carlos Sainz in 3rd place. Sergio Perez up in 4th now. Charles Leclerc 5th. Well, Perez came 3rd in the sprint, but he's already lost the place off the line to our teammate Sainz. Going the main straight here to complete the first lap of the Grand Prix. Brilliant start from us. We gained 3 places overall. We've got a decent gap to Boschet and Guan Yu behind. Moving on to lap number 3 now. We managed to make the pass on Albon. We've got battle going in front of us here. We've got Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez going out into turn 1 while we're chasing Lando Norris and the Mercedes just in front of us. There's a bit of a scuffle there in turn 1. Sergio Perez and Charles Leclerc side by side. Norris got all checked up and we had to try and make a chance to make a move, but couldn't quite make it happen. So push on now towards the end, midway through the lap, sorry. Robert Schwartzman in the Haas, down in 18th place. He's had a bit of a problem here. He's gone way over the curb and the Haas car is slowing down. He's fallen to the last place now. And I think that could be the end of the race for him. It's an internal failure of some kind. No smoke out of the car, but he's pulling it over and he's our first retiree of this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Terrible start then for Robert Schwartzman. Pushing on to the start, lap 5 now. Sergio Perez chasing. We're being chased by our teammate Carlos Sainz there in 4th place. He's going in towards turn number 1. Sainz has already got the job done. We're going to try and pass Charles Leclerc just behind. See if we can get that move stuck. Can't get it for the time being, but Sainz up into 3rd place, back up into the podium places. Perez got past him, and Spaniard has fought right back. Behind them now, going on to the end of lap number 5, Leclerc is still our main target. Got the DRS this time, so we can try and get the job done on this main straight if we can. Going down towards the first corner as we come through to cross the line onto lap number 6 of the race. Leclerc is chasing Perez. He's managed to get away from us here. Goes side by side. No contact between the two, but Leclerc got all backed up. He's still down the inside of Perez. Could try and take initiative. We're going to go up the inside of Perez and try and get the move done on Leclerc as well, heading down into the Villeneuve chicane. It's going to be very tight here. There's a little bit of contact. We may have banged tyres a bit there. We've managed to stick it out there. We're right behind Charles Leclerc. And we're moving up another place into P5 now. There's opening 5.5 laps. It's been brilliant stuff so far. Verstappen leads by 2 seconds to Russell, and Sainz is about 3.5 back. It's 1.5 to Leclerc and ourselves. As we go further now into the lap, going down towards the last chicane on the circuit, the second chicane. They try to go for a crossover there. Look to the inside of Charles Leclerc. I mean, went over the curve a little bit. We've managed to get the job done just about. So that's P4 secure. Some decent points for Ferrari. We need to keep on chasing Russell, Verstappen and Sainz. Moving on to lap number 9 now of this race. The tyres, these soft tyres, are falling off the cliff. We're going to try a 1-stop today. We're going to set hard tyres in this first and only stop of the Grand Prix. So we need Ferrari to execute this one nicely. Of course, we almost cost us the first race here due to a pit stop error. The tandem's optimal, so that's good. We should have a pretty decent stop. Tyres being fitted, 2.4 seconds, so within that estimated stop time, that's always a positive. However, we're going to lose a decent amount of places. We're already out the points here as we move on to these hard tyres and come back out into the racetrack, falling towards the back of the pack, and that should be P19. The Schwartzman's already out of the race. So we have to make our way out the pits here, and we have a lot of work to do in order to close that gap. We can't push these hards too much because we want to take them to the end of the race if we can. Verstappen, Russell, Sainz are the Prix drivers are chasing, still yet to pit. The weather report saying will be okay for the time being, so no rain is expected, so it should get a bit sunny there as well on the grass a little bit. Push on to lap number 14 now, so we've managed to catch the back of the pack. Felipe Drugovich is our first target, then 18th, and just his second Formula 1 start. We're going to try and make our move here, going down to these last two corners on the circuit. Get good toe here with the use of our ERS as well. Down in towards the left-hander. We're going to go late on the brakes if we want to have a chance of it happening. We managed to get ourselves inside. No contact made. We managed to make our way past Drugovich, so up into P18 now. We should see a decent number of cars coming into the pit lane now. We've managed to get DRS off of Bottas in front, if I'm not mistaken. So we moved to lap number 15 now. We're going to jump in the whole place up to looks like P13. Yes, there we go. So P13, Perez is the head of the cars who came into the pit. Bottas about a second up the road. Have a Stroll and Lawson going at it in front of them here, so he might get a little backed up, and we could once again take advantage of that. We're chasing here, making our way down towards Villeneuve. We have enough of a run to go for it into the chicane. No chance. We have to stick behind him for the time being. We could have a go into Tosa, the left-hander here, up the hill. We're ducked to the inside, similar to how he did to Drugovich, and that's the job done there. We've managed to get the run on the inside, get good traction on the exit. We're up into P12 now, and moving on. A couple of corners later, sorry. We'll go to the inside of Stroll here into the chicane, similar to how he did on Leclerc earlier in the race. I'm feeling deja vu from some of these passes. We've managed to clear Stroll easily there. He's already a second back. So Liam Lawson's our last target here. So jumping back up into lap number 17 now, the pit stops are cycled through. We're down to P7 here. We haven't quite cycled through. The two Alfa Romeos yet to stop. You see Zhou Guanyu there in second place and Pourchaire's in fifth. Charles Leclerc is our next target. We were chasing him earlier in the race. We've actually dropped back as a result here. And these guys are on fresher hards than what we've got. We're going to try and make a move though, because we've got the DRS to try and make it happen. Red Bull versus Ferrari once again. We're going toe-to-toe with Leclerc. Look to the inside of the Tamburello turn one, but he's locked up. He's gone onto the gravel there, and that is disastrous for Charles Leclerc. He's going to have to wait now for the rest of the pack to go through before he can actually make his re-entry onto the circuit, and that's a mistake he did not want to make on lap number 18 of this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. So we're up and now into P6, and that'll become P4 when both Guanyu and Pourchaire enter the pits. We're still holding off Lando Norris in the Mercedes here. We've gone to the end of lap number 18. Pourchaire, he's right in front of us now. Going to put onto the curbs, a little bit of sausage curbs there. Guanyu into the pits. DRS now deployed as we go on to lap number 19. We're chasing Pourchaire, but I doubt we'll get a move done from this far back. We're about half a second behind. There's still a bit to go, but we've got no battery left at this point, so we have to conserve that a little bit. And jumping now further into the lap, we're right behind Pourchaire for the third time in this race. We're going to make a move at the chicane. We're already on his inside. He has no choice but to cede. And we go around the outside of him, the exit. And he's going to hold up Norris very nicely indeed for us there. And that'll help us gain a little bit more time on our fellow Brit in the Mercedes. So we've got a couple more. We've got a decent amount of time to chase. We've gone to lap 20 now. We've made a couple of mistakes here. The last corner's gone way wide off into the gravel. The sign sets the fastest lap in front of us. And now Norris is all over us here with the DRS deployed, if I'm not mistaken. On to lap 21. We've got 12 more laps to go in this Grand Prix. Norris is going to be all over us here for the remainder of the Grand Prix. Russell's about 7 seconds up the road. Sainz has managed to get past him, which is brilliant. So that's good. More points for the Constructors' Championship. But Norris is our main focus right now, because we want to prevent ourselves from losing spots instead of trying to push up front, try and gain them as much as we'd like to gain them. On to lap number 24 now. Norris is giving us a good run down towards the first corner. He's got the DRS. There's contact there. We squeezed him a bit too hard. We've done it again there. We banged tyres. We're going to look to the inside, trying to make a move, but there's no point in going for it. It's way too risky. Norris jumps up, gets ahead of us here. So we're going to have to wait for a little bit longer to go full beam, throw the kitchen sink at it in these late stages in order to try and get back past him. So we charge now towards the last couple of corners on the end of the lap. We're trying to make a move on into the inside here, but it's very late and Norris turns in on us as expected. I mean, it couldn't really gone any other way. We've managed to get past him there, but it was quite reckless on our behalf. So it'd be no doubt a bit frustrating with us. We managed to get the DRS off him though. We've got no warnings from the FIA, as bad a move as that was. Norris now looking to the right hand side as they charge back towards turn number 1 on lap number 25. I think we might just about have him here in these closing laps. He may go for one more move or two in these last 7 laps or so. We managed to hold him off there through Tamburello, so good there. Verstappen though still on course to the victory as he goes down to lap number 27. And Charles Leclerc out of the race. We haven't seen much since he locked up earlier, but I'm not quite sure what's happened, but he's pulled the car over and he's out of it. It hasn't been a crash of some kind, otherwise he would have despawned by now. But regardless, Norris has got in front of us here, so once again try our best to get back at him here. As we go to Tamburello, we came very close to running into Backlund there. We had to really slam on the brakes once again, as we have to try and stay on his rear wing as much as we can to try and make a move. We could attempt to look at something into Tosa, in this next corner. They're a bit wide though, so essentially I'll have to wait. Pushing on now out of back from Minerali and back down towards the chicane on moving to the end of lap number 28. We have 4 laps to go here. Passing Russell is out of the question. He's to get around the outside Norris. We pushed him onto the curb there. So once again, very aggressive, but really getting the yellows up. Maybe a bit too much. But there goes the yellow flag for Charles Leclerc's car pulled over at the side. As we push on now to the last lap of the Grand Prix. Nothing much really happens here. Norris is still chasing us. He's yet to go for another move. So I think at this point we might have it slowed up as long as we can stay just within those couple of, say, a few tenths in front. Verstappen's on course for the victory. He's just a couple of corners away here. As Norris might go for one last move into Backlund and O'Reilly. I think we might just hold him off here. It would be too dangerous to go for a move into these last few corners. I doubt he'll go for it at the chicane. Meanwhile, Verstappen's coming through now to take the checker flag. He's got 2 more corners to go. He's had an absolutely brilliant start to the season, and he meant every single word of what he said in the press conference on Thursday. He was coming for Malachi Wilson to try and take back the championship. Verstappen goes 3 for 3. He wins the sprint and the race to go with his win in Australia. George Russell will come to the line second, and our teammate Carlos Sainz home in third. Meanwhile, we're going to just about hold off Lando Norris by those crucial couple of tenths, unless he has anything left for us down this main straight towards the line. He's going to get on the DRS, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Going to hold on to take P4, so it's a comeback drive, but a disappointing one, as we still finish behind Verstappen. So there you have it then. That is the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix done and dusted. Verstappen takes his 3rd win out of the 3 races we've had this season. It's been a brilliant start in the championship for him. A full 58 points to start of this season. We're going to lose a few places here, presumably to Russell and Sainz, just for losing out to them over the course of the sprint and the race. So a poor weekend by Malachi's standards. Have to get him back in the game for Miami next week. But for now then, it's Verstappen once again, the Dutchman on top and making his intent to win the World Championship again very, very clear indeed. As he is your victor today, and the trophy well deserved by the Red Bull team. They've driven a brilliant race. Of course, we drove a decent race ourselves. Perhaps got the elbows out a bit against Norris later on, but in the end we just couldn't chase down that top 3. They fell away from us. We fell away from them incredibly quickly in the late stages. So now the final results from this Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's Verstappen who wins the race, Russell 2nd, Sainz 3rd, we come in 4th, Lando Norris 5th, Alexander Albon another great finish and he comes home 6th, Perez 7th, Gasly 8th, Joe Guanyu 9th, and Mick Schumacher takes the final point for Haas. For Charles Leclerc and Robert Schwartzman both failing to finish, and we get driver of the day as well. So while we didn't quite come out on top, it definitely is a decent consolation. In terms of Drivers' Championship, Russell and Sainz move in front of us by 2 points and 1 point apiece. Verstappen 58 points in the lead in the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris about 7 points behind us there in 5th place, and Charles Leclerc down to 6th here after that poor race for him. In terms of constructors, Red Bull still showed the way by 13 points to us at Ferrari. Mercedes 3rd, Alpine 4th, and McLaren 5th. And after we've got 4 places with their points finished today. So with that then, you guys, that is the end of the second round of racing in F1 The Prodigy. I do hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until my next video, I shall see you next time. Have a good day.